Once upon a time, in a vast and diverse land known as India, there was a great debate that stirred the hearts and minds of its people. This debate was centered around a new piece of legislation called the Citizenship Amendment Act, or CAA for short. The story of the CAA begins with the noble intention of providing sanctuary to those who had faced persecution in neighboring lands. The rulers of India noticed that in some of the neighboring realms, namely Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Afghanistan, certain groups of people were not treated kindly. These were the Hindus, Sikhs, Buddhists, Jains, Parsis, and Christians, who faced hardships and were often not allowed to practice their faith freely. Seeing their plight, the leaders of India decided to open their hearts and borders to these distressed souls. They proclaimed that those from these persecuted minorities who had fled to India before a certain date would be welcomed with open arms and given a chance to become official citizens of the land, a chance to start anew, free from fear and oppression. But as in many tales, there was a twist. The act did not extend this welcoming hand to all. Specifically, it did not include Muslims who had also fled from persecution. The rulers argued that since the neighboring lands were primarily Muslim, it was less likely for Muslims to face religious persecution there. This exclusion became the spark that ignited a fiery debate across the land. Many of the people, including sages, scholars, and common folk, raised their voices in concern. They argued that the very fabric of their great nation was woven from threads of diversity and inclusivity. They feared that by excluding one group, the act might tarnish the nation's long-standing commitment to secularism, where all religions are treated equally. Protests erupted in streets, town squares, and even in academic halls, with people from all walks of life coming together to voice their dissent. They held aloft banners of unity and chanted slogans of inclusivity, asserting that every person, regardless of their faith, deserved a chance at sanctuary. On the other side of the coin, there were many who supported the act, seeing it as a necessary step to protect those who had no one else to turn to. They believed that the act was a beacon of hope for the persecuted minorities from the neighboring lands, and that it underscored the nation's commitment to being a refuge for the oppressed. As the debates raged on, the story of the Citizenship Amendment Act became a tale of conflicting ideals, a struggle between the noble intention to provide refuge to the persecuted and the imperative to uphold the cherished principle of secularism. It became a narrative that captured the complex tapestry of beliefs, values, and aspirations that define the land of India, reminding everyone that the path to harmony often winds through the valleys of discord and the bridges of understanding.